and master students, choose a topic that would enable you to come up with 2 to 3 specific objectives. It's also the same thing when it comes to manuscript writing, because each of you will have to write a paper or 2 before the end of the fellowship. Well, at least a paper. Doctoral students, choose a topic that allows addressing at least, well, it depends on universities. OAU will not accept anything less than 4 topics when it comes to doctoral. 2 broad topics should be avoided. Topics that are too narrow should be avoided. 2 broad ones should be avoided. Such broad topics involve more time and effort. Dr. Adedide is not here. He was the one that told us of a particular person in South Africa who wanted to do something for his PhD, and the supervisor said, you cannot finish this work in 17 years or so thereabout. I guess the person did not believe. They asked the person to go to another place, and the person said, you cannot finish this work in... So, such broad topics involve more time and effort, e.g., a research topic that covers many countries and at the same time has many objectives like 6 or more is too broad. And that's why we normally, well, I would just tell the student you are too ambitious. What's wrong with you? You must strike a balance. Your topic should be narrow enough to focus your project, but not too narrow that there are no major findings or results, have no generalizability. Also, your topic should be broad enough to enable you to obtain major findings, but not to the extent that you cannot manage the research, especially if you are the one funding it. The following are 3 very essential questions that you ask yourself regarding your potential research topics. Number 1, somebody to read.
Does the topic elicit interest and curiosity in you?
These are questions that you have to ask yourself. Go ahead, ma'am.
The first decision you should make regards how you actually feel about the topics on your list and whether you will stick with the topic true to the conclusion of the research project.
Second bullet.
It is very important that the topic you choose is of interest to you and that it also elicits curiosity within you.
It's all about you first. And the reason is because so that you can also finish what you have started. Number 2, another person?
Is the topic worthwhile? It is very important that you pick a topic that is worthwhile. Your topic is not worthwhile if it has no likelihood of promising
Meaningful results.
or furthering scientific knowledge because of poor concept or organizational design.
Okay.
Students' responsibility to come up with worthwhile topic. Supervisor's main role is to guide through the process.
3, a man this time. Stephen, sorry, you are the only name that I know here.
It is important to decide. No, sorry. It is also important.
Is the topic doable? Yes, go ahead.
Is the topic doable? It is of paramount importance that the topic for your research project is feasible. Shall I continue?
Go ahead.
It is important to decide whether you will be able to complete the research project within record time.
Good.
It is also important to recognize whether you will be able to gather necessary information, variables for your study. Will you be able to carry out your analysis by yourself or by seeking some assistance?
All right. So, now even if you are going to contract your analysis out, you must be able to understand what has happened. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that will defend it, not the person that analyzed for you. Okay? Research questions. The next stage involves clarifying and refining your ideas into research questions. As vague ideas are insufficient in demography as a science or in any population studies. When you are asking questions, research questions, don't ask questions that will lead to a yes or no answer. It's not going to give you any objective. Okay? It's not going to give you anything. The process usually involves examining the research literature in an attempt to learn how other researchers have conceptualized, measured, and tested the concepts that are of interest to you and related ideas. While reviewing the literature, you will continue to work on your ideas, clarifying, defining, and refining them until you have produced one or more clearly posed questions based on a well-developed knowledge of previous research and theory, as well as on your own ideas and speculations. All research begins with an idea, which can be the most difficult stage of the research process. Once you have narrowed down your topic, the next step is to develop your research question. General and specific research questions bring things down to the next level of specificity, further narrowing the focus of the proposed research. I want somebody to read bullet 1 and 2 now.
General research questions are not general, not abstract, and are not themselves directly answerable because they are too general. Specific research questions are more specific, detailed, and concrete. They are directly answerable because they point directly at the data needed to answer them.
Especially when you have the conceptual framework in your mind. Am I following the conceptual framework based on my research questions? Okay. By the time you are able to answer specific questions, you will have dealt with the general objective. Research topic. Determinants of risky sexual behavior, RSB, among adolescents in Nigeria. General research question. What are the determinants of RSB among adolescents in Nigeria? Does it make sense? If you compare the research topic and the general research question, does it flow? Does it make sense? Down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, general objective is often directly generated from general question. Specific objectives are derived from specific questions. Summary. What is my research area? Have I clearly identified it? What is my topic? Have I clearly identified it and shown how it fits within the research area? What are my general research questions? What are my specific research questions? Does each specific research question meet the empirical criterion? Is it clear what data are required to answer each question? Explore your intended data, DHS, MICS, because in any case, we're going to make use of secondary data here. And basically, NDHS. Okay? I asked them a question in Lagos during their data socialization. I said, what is DHS? They said it confidently. I said, what is NDHS? Confidently, they said, it is national demographic. And of course, in my usual characteristics, I said 0/10. It's not national, it's Nigeria. Because DHS is carried out in so many other countries of the world. And usually, the first letter is for the country in which they are carrying it out. So for this particular Sparkle project, we're going to be using basically secondary data. More importantly, DHS. There are other secondary data, as Dr. Adedini may be putting us through probably as from tomorrow, or maybe very briefly so that they can get registered and then within 24 hours they can get a reply or something. Any question? Can I go and sit down? Yes, sir.
I want to from your presentation. So, research question come before objective, or objective before research question? Because I see.
I think I said something like that. I mentioned it something. Yes, sir.
I see the mix-up between what you presented and what Prof. Elia presented, the table. Research question come before objective, but yours objective come before research. You know, there is this confusion.
There's no confusion there. What we normally do when you have read what you want to do, literatures, you'll be able to identify the gap. When you identify the gap, you ask yourself questions about the gap you're identifying, and that will lead to objectives. But the truth, mostly, I hope I'm not being recorded, the truth actually is that most students go from objective to research questions. But the real thing actually is for you to read, identify the gaps, and ask yourself questions. And like Professor Patis will say, speak English. Speak the English to yourself. Okay? So it is research question first. Because you want to, did you not ask yourself, why am I going to Unimed? Huh? Or somebody must have asked you, are you married?
Sure, I understand that.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay. When you were coming here, somebody did not ask you, when are you coming back?
Sure, that's a regular question.
It's a regular question. It is the question first, and then you answer. How do I, get the objectives out of it? But like I said, most of my students will usually go from objective to research questions. And then you will readily know, people going from objective to research questions, you will readily know. A lot of them will usually tell you, this work has never been done anywhere. Have I answered your question? All right. Any other question? Questions, contributions, heresies to be removed? Okay. I usually demand for a clap. All right, thank you. May I humbly introduce to you the coordinator. He has arrived. He has landed.
My prof, sir. The ego has landed. This is a brand new
No, I'm sure you are handing up for today, sir.
So I wanted to hand over.
Don't hand over. I just want to make sure that I get here tonight.
Well done, sir.
So, gentlemen and ladies, welcome Dr. Olufemi.
You can see his purpose. Does it not purpose? Tell him his purpose. Say use purpose.
And we've also had the Youth Development Promotion and Policy Agenda, presented by Professor Patisi. We also had research conceptualization, research writing, presented by Professor Asha. And we earlier also had the essential of concept notes. There have been new things learned. Have we learned some things? So please, as I always say, those things that you have learned, tips of the iceberg, you need to run with them. Okay. So if you have other questions about how the fellowship will run in the course of the 1 year, is it 1 year, right?
Yeah,
1 year fellowship. So put those questions together tomorrow, and we have our head coordinator who will do justice to those questions. So tomorrow we will need volunteer to do the recap for us. Please do. Somebody whispered to me that the mails are coming in and going out. So let's stop going in and coming out tomorrow. Let's concentrate more tomorrow, okay? So that we can get the best. Can get the best out of the fellowship. I'm sure the coordinator will be setting more ground rules tomorrow. But please, let's pay attention. I know we are adults. We have challenges and responsibilities here and there. Is that the evaluation form? Okay. So if you have not submitted your own evaluation, please submit. And for those who just joined us thereafter, we have Dr. Adeoye L, the class governor. Please clap for her. She's been very active. And it's also very good that this cohort is having a female as the class governor. The last cohort was coordinated by a male governor. And as you have seen them, you've seen their pictures. Okay, so in the absence of any other thing, are there?
No, we'll pick it up tomorrow.
Okay, so there are no other issues. It's a good point for us to anchor the program at this point today, and can then begin to move to our hotel rooms and continue tomorrow. So enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night. Thank you. See you tomorrow. So we already have
a quick one.
We already have someone, Dr. Adeoye Hope, who will be doing the recap for us tomorrow. So the starting time tomorrow is 8:15.
Yeah, they even need to move. Tomorrow is environmental. So we need to get here. You're not thinking of that. That's the last Saturday. So you need to move. We need to leave our hotel room. I don't know. You come and finish it. It starts 7. Even when we go with protocols, sometimes they could be naughty. You will just see their, what's it called, mobile courts looking for quick money to give government. I was on call one day, and the only thing that saved me was my ID card as not even the one as a university teacher, and I had to make story if I don't get to the hospital and all that. So they have no respect. Yeah, so they don't. It's like people who are hungry waiting for room to devour. Yeah, so please, maybe we just do a bit.
What time?
Maybe be 7. So we can leave by about 7. We still get here. Those rules will not really get us.
So let's be ready at 7.
7, yes.
For pick up at 7.
At 7, please.
So that we can also even possibly finish early tomorrow being Saturday and get back to our rooms and also continue to do other works.